Why is this movie such a bore? Thanks, Taxi, for being inside the intro. If that one actually didn't click with you guys, I have to say it's probably one of the funny ones I was thinking about doing for the intro for this show. But either way, I am giving you this whole idea that I'm actually going to be doing the live action Lion King. I caved in. I gonna be honest, guys. I wasn't sure about seeing the Lion King, the live action version, or I say live action because it's really not, and we'll get into that later. But it was my friend's birthday over the past week, and I wanted to do something special for her, and we decided to go see Lion King just to go see it. And I have to say, I wish we probably would have chosen a different movie. Because, well, let's be honest here. It's the Lion King just as the Lion King. It's literally the exact same movie. Like the exact same shots, the exact same lines, the exact same story. It was... The only thing different about it was the animation and the actors. Granted, from a few exceptions, like James Earl Jones returns as Mufasa, which is a no-brainer casting choice because no one else could play Mufasa. But there's really not a lot to talk about this movie. It's... I mean, okay, let's actually go into the actual CG. And this goes to my whole rant about it being live action. Because it's basically the exact same movie, just done in a different animation style. CG is technically animation, just done to be a little bit more realistic. And it did show. Visually, the movie looked fantastic. The amount of work the animators did for the whole visual effects, like making each light going off a different point of the animals' faces, like showing like how much the hair would move and like how the lighting would work for if the hair was moving in a certain direction. Visually, they did a great job doing it, and they definitely captured a lot of the original style. Like they did the whole stampede scene with Mufasa's death. They literally copied the exact same look, the exact same music, and it was still hard to see Mufasa dead, and I still admit to shedding a tear for that scene. But it then goes into my whole idea about the acting. Now, we all know that the acting in the 1994 film was spectacular. It's great. To me, I love The Lion King. I do. I love the original. And it's... A lot of times I feel that this movie had an almost like an 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, the voice acting was great. It felt real. It felt something that we can relate to from the original. And then there's a 20% one, which is like ones that they just feel like they're reading their lines. Because I'll be honest, the new actor for Scar, I mean, he was good. It was good to watch him, but it just didn't feel right. I didn't have a sense of that conniving, mischievous mistrust that Jeremy Irons brought in the original film. So and most of the time, I just felt like I was watching a angry lion. And that's also one thing I want to point out. A lot of the animals don't resemble some of the actual human actors. And I guess that goes for the realism, the actual look of a lion. But what made the original so good was the emotion that they kind of incorporated a lot of the human actors into the animal features. Like some of the facials in the original animated movie was done to show actual emotion. And especially when we saw Mufasa's death. Like, the original one was like this.
Long live the king.
And the new one is just a lion cub making a face. And I don't feel that sense of emotion. I got most of the emotion from the music. And that's also one thing I want to touch on as well, is the music. The music, to a point, did capture a lot of what Hans Zimmer did in the original movie, but it also meant that the songs were done a little bit differently. I mean, of course, you had Circle of Life, done spectacularly. It was like shot by shot, like the original opening. And then it came to the second song, which is I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And that one, we remember, is all like colorful, happy, and it's like showing what Simba wants to do if he becomes king. This one just feels mellowed down. I just didn't feel like it's like a boy like playing around like he wanted to be king. I just felt like a bunch of animals running around doing some stuff. And then came my biggest cross, which is Be Prepared. Now, Be Prepared is one of my favorite, absolute favorite Disney songs, especially for a villain. Jeremy Irons did a great job, and of course you got Nazi hyenas in that old movie, so why not? This one, it just felt rushed. A lot of times, I kind of figured that they wouldn't do the whole, like, the magma, the rocks, like, going up, like, the crescendo of the song, but it just felt lazy, it just felt rushed. And the new guy honestly didn't really feel like he was singing. Like, most points, he was just talking during music. The first times he did was, like, the first beginning of the new version and the last crescendo. And then, of course, we had the new version of Hakuna Matata, which still holds up to this day. And I have to say, it was still a lot of fun to listen to. So, what else am I missing? I really just don't know. Oh, that's right. They cut out a lot of the comedy. That's right. A lot of the comedy was cut out in certain points of the movie. Like Rafiki, he doesn't have his staff, not until the last fight scene of the movie. But he didn't use it in that fight scene for the kung fu. He didn't use it during the comedy with Simba.
Long. Ow! Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Ah! You see? So what are you going to do?
First, I'm gonna take your stick.
No, not a stick!
And of course, the hyenas, they cut out a character in that. They cut out Ed's character. There is no more Ed hyena in the hyena pack. So a lot of the comedy felt flat, but some of it did hold up nice. I don't know. I had a lot of praise for the film for doing it, but it just, we'll be honest, guys, it can't beat the original. None of these Disney remakes can beat the original. And I'll be honest, I'm probably done watching the live action remakes. Because I've seen a few. I've seen all the way from Maleficent all the way up here to Lion King. And I have to say, I only enjoyed 3 films that they released, which was Jungle Book, Maleficent, and now Lion King. Because I'll be honest, Cinderella was an absolute bore. I was bored watching it. Same with Beauty and the Beast, it just felt slow. Whereas the animation ones, it just felt vibrant, it felt fresh. It actually had the animation help move the story along so I can understand what's going. These ones, I just want to kind of explain some plot points that don't need explaining, and sometimes they explain stuff that's already explained in a more vast detail. So either way, I'm probably done. I'm not going to see Mulan. I refuse to go see that movie. And some of the other ones, I don't know. it's literally, if it's gonna be the same thing, I'm not gonna bother wasting my money to go see it. So, comes down to my verdict. Visually, it looks amazing, and of course James Earl Jones does a great job. A lot of the cast did a great job in their roles, but in hindsight, it's just the same exact film. So I'm gonna give Lion King 2019 a C+. Now, if you guys ever see this movie, that's great. I know why Disney's doing this, is to reintroduce Lion King to a new generation, a new audience, so they can bring in more guests to their parks. But it's a lot of times these movies are just missing the emotion and the heart that made the original so good. So if you guys want my opinion, watch the original first. And if you get to this one, by all means watch it. It's still a fun movie to watch, but it will never hold a candle to the original. So either way, guys, I'm the Dark Viewer. Thanks so much for watching this review. And remember to smash the like button in the face, like the badasses you are. And don't forget to click subscribe and join us here in the shadows. I'm the Dark Viewer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!
Feeling